Well, hey everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood Saskatchewan guy, Ironman 3406 here. Gonna do another operational tutorial video for you here today to do with motor graders. As you can see behind me, I've got this motor grader out in what we call Highbank mode, and I'm gonna walk through the steps on what I find is the easiest way to get that blade out in such a position like it is right now. So I'll get back up in the cab and we'll get some cameras positioned and whatnot, and we'll walk through how to get the blade out like this and talk about, you know, why it's handy to put it out like this sometimes. So stay tuned, and don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notifications button if you like anything to do with heavy equipment. That's pretty much all we focus on here on my channel. So I will get back up in the cab and start from scratch and show you guys how to do this. Alright everybody, I am up in the cab of this motor grader here now, and I'll walk through the steps that I go through to get the blade out and back in, and hopefully this helps some of you out there in the world. This is not a difficult thing to do. I know some guys think it's complicated and they're sometimes a little afraid to give it a try, but this is not complicated, and there's a lot of advantages that you can have with the machine by putting the blade out like this every once in a while. So I am going to somehow get the camera mounted here so you can see the controls and what I'm doing with them, and hopefully this turns out, hopefully it works out. All right, I'm gonna try and do this one-handed, so bear with me. So the first thing I like to do is get my blade and everything as far to the left as I can, and I'm going out the left side just because I got a left-hand blade extension on this machine. With no blade extension, obviously easier to go out either side. It's just with the extra length out here, it's a little easier going out the left. So first thing I do, get my blade picked up on both sides. I'm gonna side shift all the way to the left, and then I'm going to run my saddle across to the left, and I'm going to do that with this fighter jet looking switch here, and I'm going to run that all the way to the left. Now while I'm doing it, I may have to pick up on that side of the blade, not a big deal. So now that I've got the blade all positioned out to the left, I'm going to put both sides of my blade in float. So I'm just going to go past the detent on each blade lift cylinder, get both my float lights up on the screen in the front, and now while I'm in the float, I'm going to remove or retract the pin in my link bar, the center pin in my link bar. Got to press up on the red tab and then press the switch. When the pin is out, you'll see you get this orange light here showing that the pin for the link bar is out. Now that the pin for my link bar is out, I'm going to run my saddle cylinder back all the way to the right, and that's going to take my link bar and move it out to the left. Now you can see the little gauge out there. What you're doing is lining up that notch, that yellow notch on the outside with the black line on the white decal. Now I'm not quite all the way there, so I'm going to have to manually manipulate up down on each side to get that line lined up. So I'm just picking up on my right hand a little bit. That line is pretty close now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lock my pin in. You see the light went out. Now our link bar is back locked in. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start picking up on my right hand blade cylinder and lowering my left hand blade cylinder. I'll be rotating the blade out kind of at the same time. running that saddle cylinder all the way back to the left again. And there you have it. Blades all the way manipulated out to the left. Now you're all probably thinking, well, what reason would you ever have to bring the blade out like this on the motor grader? The first reason, and the easiest reason, is let's say that the top of your moldboard is all full of dirt and gravel and everything like it typically is. Leaving that material up on the top of the board is going to wear out your slides and everything prematurely because there's granular material getting by it. So put the blade out like this, give a few things a shake, you know, knock everything off, all the dirt's off the top of your blade, bring it back in, everybody's happy, you're happy, the top of your machine's nice and clean. You don't have to get out there with a shovel or your hands and take all that material off the top of your blade. Reason number two, makes it a heck of a lot easier to get in here and lubricate your circle gear and your inside nylon strips where the circle turns inside the drawbar. You can spray that dry graphite spray here to give those nylon wear strips nice glide surface. For those that grease their circle gear, it makes it a lot easier to get in here and get a little grease on that circle gear instead of crawling on the ground and hanging out upside down to do it. Again, this is that area of the moldboard where I was saying that it fills up with dirt, and these are those wear strips inside that you're going to wear out because dirt and everything's going by there all the time. And the third reason is, my goodness, it's a heck of a lot easier to change blades when you can do it at a nice level work surface just like this. I mean, I could have this leveled out just a little bit more, but for the sake of demonstration, I tell you, it's a lot easier laying these blades on top of the moldboard instead of fighting on the ground and working with these blades and getting everything lined up. You've essentially got a workbench here right in front of you. It's not hard to do, guys. Just something that takes a little bit of practice. Once you're good at it, once you know the limits of where the machine is and to watch your fenders and things like that in here, it's really not that hard. Once you've done it a few times, you know, the first few times I would say get somebody to watch. Just make sure you're not getting into anything up here. And once you kind of know where you are and how much room you got, man, it is way easier to change blades. Now if you want to bring it back, reverse process. Turning that circle back the other way a little bit. Slowly bringing my right hand blade cylinder up. Whilst lowering my left hand blade cylinder. Continue rotating that circle around. Get yourself back underneath the main frame of your machine. Run that saddle cylinder back all the way to the left. Lock your pin in and return your blade back to the middle. And now we're back to where we were. Well, everybody, that's going to wrap up this little tutorial video on how to get your moldboard out to the side like this on a motor grader. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Hope you learned something. If you liked the video or if you learned something, leave me a comment or give a thumbs up. I'd sure appreciate it. I will keep going with these. They seem to be sort of popular, so I will keep making them. If you've got any suggestions as to what style of tutorial video you might want to go over or what machine you might want something on, just leave me a comment down below and I'll try to accommodate as I can as the stuff's available. Again, really thank everybody for watching. The channel's taken a pretty big upswing here in the last little while as far as subscribers and whatnot, so big shout out to everybody who's watching. I sure appreciate it. Other than that, I'm going to sign off. I got to get this blade back down into its proper position and get going for supper. So again, my name's Nathan, Ironman 3406. I'll catch you guys next time, and don't forget, I am Iron Man.